Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am scrapbooking a really quick and easy layout, okay? This is a big kind of like portraity type layout. It does have this beautiful stripe on the other side, but this is a cruise ship and kind of like a sail away moment. You can see the streamers and stuff. And this is the sail away party. And then this is a photo of Christopher and I outside of the Disney Cruise Line office in Port Canaveral. So I am going to get my basis for this layout off today's sketch, but it is definitely not following it. So anyway, got my paper, my photos. I'm going to do very minimal embellishing on this. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, this is going to be a video where there's not a whole lot of excitement going on. It's just the way it is. So I have these photos. Like I said, this is Christopher and I outside of the Disney Cruise Line building, and then a photo where we were on the deck for the sail away party. And I felt like this cruise ship paper looked kind of like the sail away party, and it looked close enough to the Disney cruise ship that we're just going with it, right? Of course, I had to put a little Mickey head up on the smokestack. Even though the Disney Cruise Line logo is a Mickey head with some waves, I just put a Mickey head on there. Could I have cut out a Disney Cruise Line logo? Yeah, definitely. I just didn't feel the need to. You know what I mean? So I have the life preservers as the background from the smokestack. And then I have just this yellow striped paper because traditional Disney colors are red, black, and yellow. And I just decided to go ahead and do that. Now I have this glitter pen, and this is a Close to My Heart glitter pen. And I will tell you guys, when Close to My Heart went out of business, I bought a bunch of glitter pens on stupid clearance. So I just opened this one today. I had not opened any, well, I can't say any of them, some of them in the past. But I just decided that I needed to have glitter on this page. Now, I also toyed with the idea of fussy cutting around the cruise ship. The only reason why I ultimately decided not to was because there are a lot of lines on the ship that kind of go off the page, but they are still attached to things. Like there are lines over top of the cruise ship, and I did not want to fussy cut those lines. And I guess I could have drawn them in, but ultimately I decided those lines were not worth it for me to fussy cut because I was thinking about doing a mixed media cloud background instead of going ahead and just glitterizing this entire background, because I do glitterize the entire thing. Not only is the blue glitter pen used on there, but I also use a clear glitter pen over top of the clouds, and it is not completely dry. Like my paper is still wet and damp, so all of the color hasn't soaked in yet. So I'm not entirely sure what the final look is going to be once the color is all out. But honestly, it doesn't matter because it's finished, right? That's the way I feel. The layout is finished. The only part I did not glitterize was the gray smoke actually coming out of the smokestack, because I was like, I don't want to glitterize the smoke. That feels weird, right? Does that feel weird to you? Would you glitterize the smoke coming out of the smokestack? I don't know. So I did, like I said, punch that Mickey head. And I did use that kind of chevron pattern right there as a nod to the Disney Cruise Line logo with the waves. And I think it's just fine, right? Like, if somebody's going to get offended that I did that, then you shouldn't probably be watching my videos or looking at my album anyway. You know what I mean? So once I get the blue portion done, I'm like, you know what? I need more glitter. because, you know, life isn't grand unless you're fully glittered. So I'm going to add the clear glitter over top all of the clouds. And while I'm doing this, I'm looking and I'm trying to think. I'm like, do I want to do anything else? Do I want to add anything else? Do I want to heat emboss any of this stuff? I'm trying to figure out some fun ways to kind of liven up this big photo background paper. Because these are difficult papers to use, right? The big scenic papers and things like that, because you're limited with where you can put your photos and things, because you could cover up way too much of the scene. So most of the times, I fully admit, I end up using the B side of these papers, but the sketch right here with the big part in the center really just kind of felt like this cruise ship could kind of meet up with it. Now, as you can see, it has zigzag lines on 3 parts of the sketch, the upper left, the bottom left, and the right middle. And I decided that I was not going to add zigzag lines onto this layout, which is totally fine, right? Like, I'm like, it just does not, just doesn't work for what I got going on. So I'm thinking of that in the back of my head, of how I can get some horizontal element on the page here within the parameters of the actual background. So it's not just like lines in the sky or lines on the ship. So I'm trying to figure that out, and that's kind of in the back of my head when I am going to decorate up the photos here. So of course I had to use this tag that said this day was magic. And then I have this little piece that says, let's see the world together. I did think for a hot second about popping these up on fun foam. Ultimately, I decided against it. So we've got a little bit of decoration, and then I am going to bring in some gold arrows after I get some bows tied. So the tag here down on the bottom gets a small little bow on it so that it does not have a naked tag hole. And then I felt, you know what? The top should have a bow too, because why not? So I just tied a bow and glued it onto the paper, or the sticker rather, that says, let's see the world together. Because we did go to a couple of different ports, right? Like we went to Tortola, St. Thomas, I think that's it. St. Thomas, Tortola, the Bahamas, all of the places, right? So I get those gold arrows down because I think that that adds a nice little touch too. I've got the curly Q arrow over this day was magic, and just kind of like the pointing arrow over here. And then I decided that I would be able to bring in some of these horizontal elements represented by these zigzag lines by bringing in some cloud stickers. So there is a map cloud sticker, and I cut a slit into my paper so that I can tuck the cloud behind the smokestack. And then I'm going to cut that cloud off on the back side and glue that, or not glue, but like tape that sucker down with some washi tape. So I've got the sticker on the front, the sticker is poking through on the back, and then the washi tape is kind of adhering that, that sticker to the background. I use the other half a little bit lower on the smokestack, and then I bring in 2 other clouds to kind of like pair with the cloud that I did that with. So no cutting for these clouds. They're just kind of chilling. So I've got that up there. And I think what that does is brings a bit more brightness to the upper part of the layout. Because it is not a very bright layout, like big expanse of white on white on white. So bringing those up there kind of adds to that brightness. And then after I do that, that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.